Well, hello everybody and welcome back down into the dungeon for Wednesday's video. I've got a few things I'm going to do, but I figured today we would start with one of my favorite things to do in the daily chores, and that is, it's time to feed the fish, but not fish food. It's time to get rid of some of these aphids. So I'm going to set you guys up on the tripod, stare you down at the fish tank, and hopefully you'll get to see some of these little white suckers falling off the plants. I know I get to see plenty of them fall, but I'm not entirely sure how well the camera's going to pick it up. So, yeah, after that we'll look at some of the seedlings. I've got a couple of things that are sprouting up I'm really excited about. And, you know, maybe we'll take a look at a few of the other things that are around. Who knows? Well, not a lot on that one. I'm hoping those little white specks are showing up for you. They're definitely showing up under this light I've got down here. The fish are probably going to hide out from the light for a bit, but that's fine. I can turn that off once I'm done flicking these little sapsuckers. I don't get them all every time, which is why there's always more to flick in here, but I do get a good deal of personal satisfaction out of flicking them off, so I almost don't mind that I don't get them all. This is the Grandpa's Siberian home. Some nice roots going on that too. It's the one from the chicken bucket. Here we've got the crimson red that's in the party cup solo can combo. I don't know how well you can see that on the camera. We'll take a closer look, but I usually shake quite a few aphids off this one. Got a couple of leaves in that, but that's fine if they're falling off from this. They're not doing the plant a lot of good, are they? And then I'll just brush whatever aphids come off the top here too. It's definitely doing a number on the aphid population around here. So happy to see that little pepper on there. Now if we look at the black lid here, we can see all the droppings and a bunch of little aphids there. You know, definitely paint those off. Or paintbrush those off into the fish tank. Good, happy, nutritious treats. And then, yeah, just shake the bugger out of the plant. Can't do this with the bigger plants, obviously, but it sure works well with these ones in the coffee cans. Anyway, I'm going to be at this for a while because there are quite a few plants and quite a few aphids. So, I'll haul the camera back out when I'm doing something else. Of course, while the camera's on them, they're going at the perlite, but they always spit that out. I'll get those aphids out of there in no time. Basically all those little tiny white specks floating on the surface used to be sapsuckers on my plants. Enjoy, fishies. Enjoy. Now there's an activity that takes a good half hour, 45 minutes out of my day at this point, but that's okay because ultimately I think feeding the aphids to the fish is making a huge difference, and I think I'm getting like ahead on this war. I haven't lost anywhere near as many plants this year. This year's issue seems to be seed starts, but whatever. Anyway, I haven't lost anywhere near as many plants this year to the aphids, and I'm finding tons of ladybugs, so I'm always dropping those on the big ones that I can't shake. The fish look good. I think the theory is sound, so I'm just going to keep on doing it, and either I'll run out of aphids or I'll have really fat fish. It's a win either way, isn't it? Been moving all those unsprouted seeds around, taking over the back shelf here. Got a new shelf coming from Shox' shop today. I guess one of the cola reps taking their stuff, didn't want it anymore, so I get to bring it down here. Nice sturdy metal shelf. If it'll hold the weight of the soda, then it'll hold the weight of some seed starts. Nothing popping up in there yet. I did find a couple yesterday, but they just turned out to be kale, so that was a little bit of a disappointment. However, I do have a Sugar Rush peach that has popped up in the middle of all this, and this is one of the ones that was hanging upside down all winter long. And behind it here, we've got the achocha cucumber. These are the ones that basically will end up looking like a spiky, spiny sea cucumber. So those are sprouting up really, really well. Thanks, Mark. Looking forward to seeing what happens there. Planted a few more seeds, you know, a couple types of squash. I think I've got 3 different zucchinis in there, some pumpkins. Finally got around to planting all the purple freaks. Anywhere there is a net in this one, there are purple freak seeds. And I am now officially completely out of those. So let's hope that a few of them sprout up and that maybe some of those funkier varieties pop up. But really, anything will be cool. Anything will be cool. This one back here is some candy apple seeds that I found. Oh look, there's a ladybug hiding inside the rim of the cup there. Anyway, some candy apple seeds that I found. Again, from one of the peppers that, Kentucky harvested. I flipped it upside down to dry. Found a label on it, and I'm like, yeah, okay, sure, I'll plant those. Orange habaneros. Just nothing. I'll have to try that yet again. But yeah, so, you know, continues down here. Always carrying on. Gonna transplant some of these chard plants today. Got a bunch of little 6L containers. Gonna put them in one of the produce trays. Should work out alright. Gives me lots of room to drain it. I'm not sure I'm gonna need to fill all, 24 of these? But we'll see. We'll see. It's nice to have chard around. Chard, kale. I grow these things because lettuce doesn't work for me, you know? Down there on the shelf, things are looking good. But one thing I wanted to show you today is over here under the big funky light. It's that sweet mini bell that got eaten down. It's got a leaf. There was a node below where it had been eaten. A leaf has decided to sprout out and try its best. So that plant isn't completely dead yet. That's exciting. Very exciting. Keeping it covered in case our little guest comes back, but yeah, looking alright. Kind of thinking about throwing the bloom switch on here, which changed the lighting spectrum somewhat, but doubles the amount of light coming down on these plants. So I think maybe I'll give it a go for a few days. We'll check back on it on Sunday, see if it's made much of a difference. I've had to turn these tomatoes around a few times. So every time they kind of lean towards the light, I flip the tray around, start again. So that's good. Got a sweet 100 here. Put this into the double cup in the styrofoam cups. A couple of holes punched in the bottom there. No idea if this is going to work or not, but yeah, one way to find out, right? A couple of ladybugs hard at work. Excellent, excellent. So that one Swiss chard that I keep meaning to put into the aquaponics, haven't gotten to it yet. I think it's definitely getting on time to transplant that catmint back there. Want to make sure Gordo's not around for that one. And I'm still kind of thinking about either that coffee tree back there or the lemon tree on the left for maybe one of those 3-gallon fabric containers. I just don't know. This sage at the same time is a pretty good candidate. It's a very nice looking plant. It's done very well for me. This mint, the craziness of this mint, I absolutely love it. Alright, one thing going on down here that some folks might find interesting. I dug out the last worm farm that I made. There's holes all the way through this. There's tons of holes in the lid. There's holes in the bottom for drainage. I got some rocks underneath this so it has room to drain. But this was my last attempt at a worm farm. I think what happened was I dried it out and everything died off. I don't really remember at this point why it didn't work. But I know there are worms in this, and there's some incredibly moist soil in this. So I'm kind of going through there and pulling out the dead plant debris that I've shoved in there and all that, well, garbage, really, compost, I suppose. And I'm going to move it over here, put a layer of the nice soft soil on there, and then as I go through this, trying to transfer it and mix it up with perlite and such, anytime I find a worm, I'm going to put it over here into something with proper drainage. I figure if this is in the basement, I'll remember to water it, so hopefully worm castings at home, right? Improve the worm population. This should be a win. We're just going to have to see, though. I have to say, However, digging through this has already started to become some pretty nice looking soil, just from me mixing it around and pulling all this stuff out. And I guess the moisture has softened up a lot of the clay, and the worms have worked through there a little bit. There's got to be at least a dozen in there, so not traditionally the amount one would use to start a worm farm, but what I'm going with, at least for now. There will be bait worms back at the gas station sooner or later. And until then, it's just the ones that snuck their way in the various planters from outside, so whatever. They wanted to be with those plants, they can stay in here now. That's just the way that's going to work. I figure there's not much point in bringing you along for the transplant of the chard, but I'll take care of that, and then we'll get a quick clip once that's done. Well, I got a few surprises in that. Turns out there was less of them in the little cup than it sure looked like. It looked like a whole lot more than 12. And it also turned out there were a few more pink ones in there than I expected. So, add to that their incredibly lengthy root systems, and I don't even know how well these are going to take as transplants, but they're bound to do better, the ones that survive anyway, are bound to do better than crammed in that cup. So, yay, one step closer to being ready for the season, as it snows outside. C'est la vie. And since I don't know where else to put them, I guess I'll put them between the spider plants for now. Cute little tray there. It's missing the front handle on it, so it became a downstairs drip tray, but it seems to fit fairly well on that shelf. I've got two others, so I might just go left and right there. I don't know, we'll see what that new shelf coming home does for me as far as storage opportunity. Oh yeah, this is something I wanted to share with someone as soon as humanly possible. Down at the bottom of the sand dollar. No, come on, focus. Work with me, little camera. I know you're old, I know you're tired. Do you see those little tiny leaves? That is new growth. That is exciting. Pray for the sand dollar. I know I am. The El Oro de Ecuador, though, this is doing great. So happy. I'm always seeing ladybugs on it too, so I'm sure it's still deeply infested with aphids, but if that survives, I don't have to worry quite so much about these. No signs of rooting on anything yet, and you'll notice there's a new one back here. That's the Ahipenic. It's cut so that it's got a second node well down below the tote. Hopefully it will root. We're just going to have to see. Just going to have to see. So since the chard is there now, I had to move the oregano down there. That's fine. It's all going to work out. More shelves makes everything better. So yeah, I guess that kind of wraps it up for down in the basement today. We'll see you guys tomorrow, being Thursday. And I may or may not be checking out the chat tonight. That's going to be live on RevToast TV, 9 o'clock East Coast time, and then works down from there. Around 8 o'clock for me here in the middle. And yeah, alright. Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Just what do you think you're doing? Looking around, chasing after the cat, I found the missing seeds! Oh, that's exciting. I knew I had a lot more pepper seeds somewhere. I need another 72 cell tray, that's all there is to it.